a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe.
G'day there, King's Kids. I'm Arnie from Arnie's Shack. Today we are looking at the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John to find out what we can about when Jesus was a boy. Anyway, let's get on with it.
I'm a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing the song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. He gives me peace that passeth all understanding, the joy that overflows. Isn't it just totally amazing, the love that my father shows? I'm a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid, yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe.
Hi, Grandpa John.
Hi there, Sammy. So glad you could drop into the workshop today.
Well, actually, Grandpa John, I am doing some research on carpentry during Bible times.
Wow, that sounds interesting, Sammy. How can I help?
I was actually wondering what sort of tools they would have used because I want to know what it was like for Jesus growing up and learning how to be a carpenter.
Sounds like an interesting project, Sammy. I'm happy to help out. I have some tools here that I can show you, but I also have some pictures and video that I took when I went on a trip to Israel a few years ago. I visited a little village where they had recreated Joseph's workshop.
That sounds great.
Well, give me a few minutes to see what I can find.
Thanks, Grandpa John. That would be awesome.
Hi there, King's Kids. It's Stephen here again, and it's time for another story from the Bible. You know, King's Kids, when we look at stories in the Bible, it is often stories about adults that we read. But you know, every adult was once a child, apart from Adam and Eve, but that's another story. So, I get pretty curious and sometimes try to think about what they were like when they were kids. When I get to heaven, I am sure there will be some very interesting stories about these Bible characters when they were kids. I've been doing a bit of reading about when Jesus was a kid, and there are a few verses in the Bible that can tell us something about Jesus as a boy. Jesus lived in the town of Nazareth in Israel. He didn't get to go to school like many of you kids do. Jesus was actually homeschooled. His mother Mary was his teacher. Mary taught Jesus how to read and study the scriptures. Mary taught Jesus how to pray. Mary must have been a good teacher. And Jesus must have been a focused and attentive student, because when he was only 12 years old, the teachers in the temple in Jerusalem were amazed at his understanding. Jesus always tried to do his best in all he did. Jesus was also taught by his father Joseph. Joseph was a carpenter, which means Joseph worked with wood. Joseph taught Jesus how to safely and carefully use the tools, how to clean up after himself, and how to keep practicing until he could expertly make whatever he needed. Jesus always tried to do his best in all that he did. The Bible also said that Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favour with God and man. Wisdom means that he was able to think well, act well, and use his understanding to make good decisions. Stature means he grew physically taller. He went from being a little child to a teenager, then an adult. And in favour means that other people liked him. He was a nice person and good to be around. He made good choices. Well, that sounds like he was a pretty good kid to hang out with. What about you, King's kids? Can you also say that you try your best in everything you do? Can those around you also say that you are a pretty good kid and they like to hang out with you because of the good choices and decisions you make? Anyway, kids, take care and we'll see you all next time.
Today's Bible verse comes from Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10. Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might.
Good afternoon, King's Kids. My name is Professor Aya Weiss, and today I'm going to show you something amazing. Hans, are you ready to begin today's experiment? Very good. First of all, can you please get a jug of water? Yes, that's right. Thank you, Hans. Next, can you please get me a Ziploc bag? Hans, why do you have a flag? I asked for a bag, a Ziploc bag, not a flag. That is a nice flag though. It is the Australian flag. But could you please get me the Ziploc bag? Yes, thank you, Hans. Very good. Lastly, I need 5 sharp pencils. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Hans. We are now ready to start. Can you please open the Ziploc bag and fill it with water and then seal it up? Very good. Yes, that's right. Now, Hans, do you think you could poke the bag with one of the pencils and have it not leak? You don't? Do you think it will make a mess, Hans? Well, let's find out. Please poke one of the pencils through the side of the bag. Do it fast, making sure it goes right through to the other side. Look at that. The pencil is poking through the bag and the bag is not leaking. Try another pencil, Hans. That one worked too, and the bag is not leaking. Please do that with the last 3 pencils too, Hans. Look at that, King's Kids. Isn't that amazing? The bag is made from a flexible plastic polymer. When you poke the pencils through the bag, the plastic polymer moves apart, creating the hole. Once the pencil has moved through the hole, the polymer pushes back up against the pencil to create a temporary seal with friction. Because it is all sealed up again, the bag won't leak. I have a second experiment I want to show you too, Hans. Can you please see if you can catch up with Pastor Darren and get some balloons? We will need them for the experiment. I will see you back here soon.
Hi King's Kids, my name's Kyra and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tin can owl. The things you will need are a tin can, a permanent marker, 2 sets of bottle lids, one larger and one smaller, something pointy to use as a beak, some pipe cleaners for legs and beads, and some string, and a hot glue gun. Start by making the eyes. What you'll need to do for this is get your larger eyes and get your smaller ones and glue the bottom of it so that it sits inside the larger ones like that. Now use the pen to draw in a smaller black dot for the eye. To stick the eyes on, make sure your can is upside down. Now put glue on the back of the lids. Now we have to do the beak. Make sure the pointy bit is facing down. Now it's time to make the legs. What we have to do for the legs is get beads and thread them on a pipe cleaner. Now we need to glue them onto the front of the can. Now we need to get its hanging string. And there's my owl. I think I'm going to name him Owen. Each and every day, God wants us to do our best to serve others. To do this, we need to be as wise as an owl. We need to ask God how and when we can serve Him. Hang your owl somewhere you can see it and be reminded to ask God how you can serve Him every day. Bye!
Here are a few of the old tools that I found, Sammy.
What are they, Grandpa John?
This big one over here is a bow saw, Sammy. It is a hand saw that is used to cut wood.
It looks pretty old, Grandpa John.
It is old, Sammy. I was given this one by my Uncle Stan. He used it to cut wood when he was a young man. That was many years ago.
I don't think I've seen one like that before, Grandpa John.
They use lots of power and battery tools now, Sammy. But these old tools can still do the job. When Jesus was working in the carpenter shop with his father Joseph, he would have used hand tools.
What is that rectangle wooden tool, Grandpa John?
That is a wooden hand plane, Sammy. A plane is used to reduce the thickness of a piece of wood. This tool would have been very useful in Joseph's carpenter workshop.
Is that other rectangle wooden tool also a plane?
Yes, Sammy, that is a smaller one.
And I know that other tool, Grandpa John. That's a hammer.
You're right, Sammy.
I was using one the other day, and I accidentally missed the nail I was hitting and almost hit my thumb.
You always need to be careful when you are using any tools, Sammy. But when tools are used correctly and with training and practice, beautiful things can be made. And I really love the smell of fresh timber in the workshop.
I do too, Grandpa John.
Now, I'll just get my iPad out and I can show you some photos and videos from my trip to Israel.
Thanks, that'll be great.
G'day there, King's Kids. My name's Postman PJ. Welcome to Get Active with PJ. I'm with my friends Max and Luke, and today we're going to do some exercise to stay fit and active. So stand up and join in with us. The first exercise we're going to do is some back turns, and this is how you do it. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, with your left hand on your hips and your right hand straight out in front of you so it's at shoulder height. Twist your upper body around to the left until you're looking sideways. Then twist back to the front. Swap arms so your left hand is on your hips. Twist your body till you're looking sideways and back to the front. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Hands on hips and join in with us. And the other side. Twisting all the way around in time with the music. That's right. Keep going. Keep in time with me, Max and Luke. Are you joining in at home, King's Kids? Go this way, Luke. That's it. Yay. Now we're getting it. Twisting from left to right. That's right. Let's keep going. Good job, King's Kids. Well, that was a great start. Now we're going to try another exercise. We're going to do some jumping jacks. Start with your feet together and your hands by your side. Now jump like this. Here we go. In time with the music. That's right. Jump, jump, jump. Good job, Max and Luke. Are you joining in, King's Kids? Max, you really got this. And look at Luke go. Keep going, King's Kids. Jumping. Don't stop yet. This is a great way to get your heart rate up, King's Kids, and a great way to stay fit and active. Well, this was a great workout, but it's time to go now. Thanks for joining us on Get Active with PJ. I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Well, I'm ready here to film another balloon kaboom. I wonder where Arnie is. Anybody seen Arnie? Oh, Hans, you're there. Hi, Hans. What are you doing here? Oh, you want something. You want something round. What's round, boys and girls? I know. Hans wants a ball. You want a ball. No, he doesn't want a ball. He's pumping up something. Oh, I know. You want some balloons. You want some round balloons. Okay, let's see what I've got here. I wonder what Professor's doing with the balloons. You don't know? Guess I'll need to watch to find out. There's some balloons for Professor I.R. Wise. You're welcome, Hans. See you later.
Hans, did you manage to find Pastor Darren and get some balloons? Very good. Now we also need a balloon pump. Yes, that's right. And now we will need some sticky tape. Hans, did you bring sticky tape pudding? That looks amazing. Please don't take that away. I will eat that later. But what I really needed was some sticky tape. Yes, that's right. And finally, we need a pin. Okay, very good. And now we are ready to go. Can you please blow up the balloon and tie it off? Yes, that's right. Now get some sticky tape and put some pieces on the balloon. Yes, very good, Hans. Do you think if we insert a needle into the balloon it will pop? What about if we insert the needle where the sticky tape is? You're not sure? Well, a good way to learn is to experiment. So let's try. Hans, poke the pin into the balloon where the sticky tape is. Look at that, King's Kids. The balloon did not pop. Try poking it where there is another piece of sticky tape. The balloon is still inflated. The reason it does not pop is because the sticky tape seals around the needles and prevents the air from escaping the balloon. The balloon will only pop if the air finds a way to suddenly exit the balloon. Are you ready to try this, Hans? Insert the pin into the balloon where there is no sticky tape. Get ready. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was a loud pop, Hans. We had 2 interesting experiments today. The water not leaking from the Ziploc bag full of water, and the balloon not popping when it had a pin inserted where the sticky tape was. Experiments are a great way to learn. In our story today, Jesus was a boy growing up and learning too. I'm sure he would have learned lots of things by trying and experimenting too. In everything he did, Jesus always did his best. King's Kids, make sure you learn and grow too, and always do your best. Be a happy and cheerful learner. Anyway, thank you for cheerfully helping me with my experiment today, Hans. And thank you for joining us, King's Kids. I will see you all next time.
Here are a few of the photos that I took when I was in Israel at the recreated Joseph's workshop. This first picture shows a bench with tools on it.
Is that a hammer, Grandpa John?
One side can be used as a hammer, but see the hook end? That is actually an adze for shaping the wood. Have a look at this video I took and you will see it being used both as an adze and as a hammer.
That's a useful tool then.
See this picture of Joseph and his workbench? There are some stones on the bench and they have a special purpose too. They're used for sharpening the tools. Have a look at this little video and you will see this tool.
Sharpening tools with a rock. That's a good idea.
Yes, Sammy, it is always important to take care of your tools, and keeping them sharp and in good condition means that you can work more accurately and efficiently.
I guess it is always a good idea to take care of any equipment you're using, Grandpa John.
That's right, Sammy. Now, have a look at the next picture. I really like this tool. Can you guess what it is?
I have no idea, Grandpa John.
Well, watch this video and you will see.
That is making a hole in the wood.
That's right, Sammy. That is a drill.
That's pretty cool.
What can you see in the next picture, Sammy?
I know. That is a plane like you have on your workbench, Grandpa John.
And here is a picture of Joseph holding a bow saw.
Oh yeah. That is the same sort of tool as your Uncle Stan had, Grandpa John.
That's right, Sammy.
Thanks so much for showing me the tools and pictures today, Grandpa John. I found it really interesting, and it gives me a bit more of an idea what it was like back when Jesus was a boy working with his father Joseph in the carpenter's shop.
You are very welcome, Sammy, and remember, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. That's found in Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10.
Whatever your hands find to do with all your might. I like that verse, and I'm gonna do that, Grandpa John.
Well, we're back, Andy, to discover another text in the Bible, and I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, yeah, so am I. Today we have King's Kid Zara with us. Hi, Zara.
Hello.
G'day, Zara. It's really great to have you here today. How about we pray first before we start? Dear God, please guide us. Thank you. Hey, Andy, where's the text from today?
Well, today's text comes from Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10. Zara, would you like to read first?
Sure. No matter what you do, work at it with all your might. Remember, you are going to your grave and there isn't any work or planning or knowledge or wisdom there.
Wow, what about yours, Andy?
Well, my version reads, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to read it from my grandma's Bible now. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do it with all your might. For there is no work, no device, no knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. This is a cool text. Well, you know what I get out of this text is that no matter what you find yourself doing, just do it to the best of your ability. Hey Zara, what are some of the things we could do to the best of our ability?
Well, say that you had to clean your room. If you didn't clean it properly, then you have to do it all over again. It would waste everyone's time.
Yeah, that's true. It'll waste yours, waste Mum and Dad's. Yeah, I like that. What about you, Andy?
Are you saying I have to clean my room?
Yes, but if you do it the best you can, then it will be quicker.
Oh, yeah. So what you're saying is that everything we do, we should put in 100% and do it to the best of our ability.
Yes.
So, whatever we're going to do, we need to do it to the best of our ability, even if it's something boring. Hey, Andy, would you like to pray before we go?
I can do that, Shane. Dear God, thank you for your word. Help us to follow you and do everything to the best of our ability. Amen.
Amen.
Bye, Zara. Bye, King's Kids.
Bye.
See ya.
Snuggle with my mommy, a great big hug with dad. I listen to a story before I go to bed. But there's one more
Jesus tried his best in everything that he did. What about you, King's Kids? Doing our best in whatever we do is important. So cheerfully serve others in all you do, just like Jesus did when he was a child. Anyway, King's Kids, it's time to go now. I will look forward to catching up with all of you again next time. So take care, stay safe, and God bless.
Gives me peace that passeth all understanding, the joy that overflows. Isn't it just totally amazing, the love that my Father shows? I'm a King's kid, yes, I'm a King's kid. My Father is the King.